All right, guys, welcome back to Fort Mort. Hope to get you in the battalion by hitting that subscribe button and being a part of this team and this community. So I know I said I was going to bring this out, but I wanted to make sure that I got it right. So you see here Fort Mort, it's actually my test account. I created this account in order to see what was the best way to level efficiently, quickly, get the most possible rewards. This video will probably run about 20 minutes or so. I was trying to keep it shorter, but there's so much good information in here, I don't think that's possible. But in the long run, I'm gonna save you a lot of time over the next couple of years. I know when I started my first account, it was a collector's account. I have some regrets, but I still love that account. It's doing really well now that I've really focused it. But here we go. So I started this account on January 14th with a goal to go after the best characters in order to get the best result. I also 9 days later decided, you know what, I'm going to start a Phoenix account like the standard person would do and see how it does side by side. And I'm happy to say that the Phoenix one still sucks. All right, so we'll get into that in just a minute in comparison. The goal here is to keep your GP low. You want to be able to get the GA wins so you get the Zetas, right? Zetas are huge. I've got another video coming up, by the way, about if you want information on how many Zetas, Omegas, MK3s, and all that you get in a monthly basis. So that's coming soon. Also, you want the quickest way to get events and rewards, and then quickest way to get to rating and gearing up, right? So you need a 7-star character to start really getting those rewards, and then you want to quickly after that get to 5 7-star characters to actually be viable in like TWs and TBs. I know some of you are asking, well, how am I going to compete with the hyperdrive? Well, you know what, like in my shard right now with this character, there are 50, the top 50 are the only ones I can see. They all bought the hyperdrive, but I'm competing. I mean, it's plain and simple. I'm competing, and I will when I get to the grand arenas and such too, because it's a GP comparison. So you play the game that you want to, the way you want to play the game. You want to buy the hyperdrive, save yourself some time to get to level, and that's fine. I enjoy the grind. I always have. So are you planning on being a whale or a kraken? Okay, maybe the hyperdrive's for you. If you think $100 is the value, maybe it's for you. If you want to be free to play, I'm here for you right now. So stay tuned. Okay, so I got a whole spreadsheet that I put together because I'm a spreadsheet guy that shows who to farm and when, and it's not a perfect science. It can be difficult to understand sometimes, and that's probably going to be a whole nother video. What we're going to go over here right now is what our goal is. So I want to be around 101.5 million GP, and I want to have 4 or 5 just dominant. Maybe it's the Geonosians, Bastia, Padme, Bounty Hunters, Shakti clones, whatever. Is that possible? Absolutely it is. Is it difficult? Maybe a little bit more difficult starting out, but it's not really that difficult. So which faction should you start first? Do you start the Phoenix? God, please no. Separatist? It's not a bad idea. And eventually you get to the droids, but Grievous is a long grind. He really is a long grind. And you got to get to the back end to get B1 in the fleet battles. So that's a tough call as well. I would rather go straight for those toons when I can get to them. And that's the goal of this video. The quickest way to get where you need to be. All right. So is it clones? I actually went up against a guy in my alts toon who had clones and bugs, and he was the only loss that I took in this one. He planned very well. And then for me, guys, it's the bounty hunters, and I'm going to tell you why. The bounty hunters and the Jedi starting out. The Jedi are a huge faction. The bounty hunters are a necessary faction. I made this mistake with my main when I first started out. I did not understand how important the bounty hunters are, so I'm going to go over that right now. All right, so I've got the list of all 21 events, the most popular ones, the ones that really matter. I did a lot of homework on this, so see here, you need the Jedi or the Ewok in order to run this one, 3 Sith or 3 Droid, clones or Rebels, Geo or Rebel, Empire or Ewok, and that's Jedi or Tusken. All of these are based, I used all these to base my spreadsheet around who to open up first and be the most efficient. And you know, the Omegas are hard to get, so your Omega battles are super important to get open as soon as possible. Night Sisters are here. I know a lot of people don't like the Night Sisters. That was actually one of the first ones I started on my alt account. And that account's coming along really nicely. I've got Night Sisters, Padme, Geos, and Jedi, so it's really nice. And then you see more Night Sisters there, but then this is where the Bounty Hunters kick in. Look at this, guys. So you can use the Bounty Hunters under this one, Ghost of Dathomir. And then they are necessary for the Omega here, for the shards for Wampa, Droid, Rolo, etc. Here for the secondary shards for Kira, Nest, etc. Here for the Phoenix and Rogue shards. So here's a key point. Why farm the Phoenix when you can get it from somewhere else? So why start from scratch? I want you I want to farm the ones from the beginning that I have no other way of getting them. Boba Fett, the only place you can get him outside of farming is in the allied points. Other than that, the bounty hunters really you can't get from anywhere else. The Phoenix you can get from multiple places. The Ewoks you can get from multiple places. Night Sisters you can get from multiple places by utilizing the bounty hunters. So that's what's huge. And then the biggest one of all, of course, is credits. There's the credit crunch. Credit heist. I hit the jackpot once, guys. 20 million. It's in my Discord somewhere. I put a photo on. And then, so that's a huge one there. And then, of course, you got your training droids, which is another huge one. So you've got 7 events that are bounty hunter necessary and another one that you can use the bounty hunters in. Then you have your optional later on to use for you need the Ewoks. Here you need the Empire, and the Empire right now sucks. So it's hard to even want to open up any Empire, even Palp at this point. But they are a necessary evil. And then this one here is really optional. I mean, to be honest with you, I just recently, when I finished off Nest, opened this up because I got Chewie on a Nest. And to be honest with you, I mean, slice and material and credits, and they're nice, but I'm not going to chase it to the wall. So I think you guys get the point. The bounty hunters are a key point to get to the rewards as fast as possible. And that's the key because you want to grow. All right. And then from the light side faction, the Jedi for me are the obvious choice. They're not difficult to farm. And the best part is, like, you can start out with Ben, and I'll go through that list of people right now, but you can start out with old Ben and move him over. But all of the Jedi that you can farm, like Ahsoka Tano, is great early on because when she damages with her special, she also heals the entire group. Healing's awesome that early on because you don't have much life pool. And then the other part is the Jedi can split off the Jedi Knight Revan, Padme teams, and CLS teams. So as you grow, those ones that you leveled up can split off into those teams, and then you can form the team that you want. So the Jedi are an absolute no-brainer. The bounty hunters are an absolute no-brainer for me. Let's go over the upside and the downside of the Phoenix, just to give you an idea. So for the Phoenix, you need them to open up Thrawn, and of course they have Rebel ships. I'm not a big fan of their ships. To be honest with you, I prefer to level the GOs and utilize their ships with Home 1. They still get the assist. Home 1 heals them, and I absolutely crush the Houndstooth by bringing out, I forget which starfighter it is, but he gets 40% offense boost when he comes in for the assist. It's huge. About 50% of the time I have Hound 1 down when I bring somebody in. It's awesome. All right, the downside of the Phoenix, and this is obviously they're useless later at the end of the game, but in the beginning game, yes, they can get you through some galactic wars. Not all of them, because you're facing other Phoenix, blah blah, whatever else. But they're weak DPS and their fights are so long. Oh my god, it's grinding. So even you basically got to put it on auto and walk away from it. It totally sucks. Bounty hunters, on the other hand, boom, 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 they're down. And I mean, there's one other thing about it too, which I'm going to get into in a second, that really helps out with the bounty hunters. So up and down side of the Jedi, I really don't see a downside. Like I said, they split off to all the different teams: Jedi Knight Revan, CLS, Galactic Republic, and they're needed to open Grandmaster Yoda. And then the great part for me, as I'm leveling as a new toon, is if you get allies, you get Bastia or Jedi Knight Revan, they basically do all the work themselves. And if you get Bastia, she gives all the protection to all the Jedi, so you almost never die. If you don't have a ton of Jedi, you only got 3, let's say, don't bring anybody else in. Bring Bastia, 3 Jedi, let her do all the work. So you're getting your 3 stars, which is more efficient. All right. Ups and downs of the bounty hunters. They are a C squad team. I mean, end game, but they're a necessary evil. They're absolutely a necessary evil. Bosk is the only reason I've lost in Grand Arena. I faced a Bosk in 3v3 that I could not take down. Otherwise, I'd be 56-0. So my one loss came to a Bosk. Boss ship, obviously, next to Millennium Falcon, is the best one in the game right now. And again, you get access to 8 events, really. They're great on defense in the GA. I'm going to go into this in a little bit, but with Boba Fett, make sure that you get him as geared up to Gear 6 as soon as possible, because he gets his execute, and that is killer early game. All right, just to prove my point, I've got a quick video here. If I can show the 25,000 to my 21,000 or 22,000. Let's skip through that, go through high speed, and you'll see this. See, it doesn't start off so good. IG-8's a little bit squishy. I think this is the one they go after DACA right away. So Daka doesn't have to be in there, but she's a nice touch for the revive. Maybe it's the next one. Yeah, they keep going after Daka, but yet I end up winning this one. The key to this one that I end up winning is Cad Bane, and I'll go into that further in a minute. I don't know what happened there. Alright, so that was the worst case scenario. I've done like 12 fights against the Phoenix. That was the worst case scenario. Okay, here I'm going against Separatist team. Keep in mind, these are all synergized. They get Dooku's leadership. So while they might be slightly lower, they've got all that synergy, and they got Newt. Here's my squad sitting at 18.7, so we're about equal in GP, but I only have synergy for the bounty hunters. Daka and the healer do not. Alright, in this one I thought I brought Boba Fett in, but it was Cad Bane in leadership, so even worse case for me. But you'll see how this goes with the Separatists. It again is a pretty good blowout. They start out hot, but I end up finishing. I do recommend playing this one by hand and not autoing it. Here's the key to this one, guys. I'm going to get into this in a minute. Is Cad Bane is right now 6-star. So he's hitting like a monster. And he can take a hit. That's the biggest difference right here. So I can speed that up a little bit. And Daka's there for the revives if she can get it. But look at Cad Bane. And that's the difference maker right there. Because I leveled him all the way up to 7-star. You take that back up to 6-star on the way to 7-star. So on that point, I want to say I learned real quick that healers over tanks is more important. Tano, like I said, she can heal on her attacks and do damage. Talia can heal, and she heals herself when she attacks. And then Daka, of course, is a damage dealing healer and then can do revives. So Daka is actually an optional one. Sorry, I just bumped the mic. But so for GW, that's a must. You lose all your protection and such, and you're constantly dying, reviving. So if you're going to get through GWs, I really recommend Daka. And the only exception to this rule is Obi-Wan Kenobi, only because, again, he can go into CLS, Jedi, get Grandmaster Yoda, and Galactic Republic teams. Now here's the key that I was just talking about Cad Bane. Get someone to 7-star ASAP. So Cad Bane is the fastest, and I'll show you why. This store absolutely sucks. It's basically for ships. Most people would farm Zeb, which I accidentally, because I was running the 2 accounts, twice hit on Zeb. Otherwise, I'd be at 50 out of 100 right now. And honestly, guys, I'm only getting 800 a day because I am not doing Galactic War. I am autoing it. Whatever I get, I get. But if you look at the rest of the store, it's terrible. So Cad Bane is a no-brainer, and then immediately start working on your ships. That way, when you get to level 78, you can start getting your Zetas from the ship challenges, which we'll get into. The other part of that is, by having a 6 or 7-star toon, you're blasting through these level 60 and opening more nodes with or without allies, so that's huge too. Plus, you want to get a 7-star toon to be able to go into raids with your guild. You want to be able to have a 6,000 plus to get into your TWs and your TVs, etc. Early on in the game, you want to make sure to use your crystals because you got a sim ticket crunch. Right now, around level 60, I finally got rid of the crunch, thankfully. It's been horrible, especially trying to run 2 accounts. I finally gave up with the Phoenix account because it's obviously not doing as well as this one, so I'm dropping that. I can get my life back. The other thing I recommend too is when you're in that ticket crunch, you're going to have to manually play your 8 energy because they're much lower. You can sim your 10 and 12s, but really, and your 16 energy nodes for more efficiency. And like I said, for me, I just auto the Galactic War. I usually end up, at the end of the game, guys, this is what you end up with. I know on my first account, it was every 3rd day I'd get a win in the Galactic War because I would always run into, look at this, pure synergized teams. And those pure synergized teams, sometimes on the 6th phase, so it was horrible. So I'm tired of the grind. Once I get my Geos or I get a synergized team, I will just put that sucker on auto. In the meantime, I'm in no hurry because there's nothing in that Galactic War store. Back then, I was chasing every character to collect. In this case, I end up winning this one because my Cad Bane is a 6-star. So that pays off big time and might make it easier to get through the Galactic Wars. But again, I was running 4 accounts. I wasn't about to be doing Galactic Wars all day. Alright. So again, most people only log on twice a day. You get their resets. You're going to get about 800 shards by doing the Galactic War, and that's about what you'll spend. So if you do that on pace, after level 40 when Galactic War opens up, In about 30 days, you'll have Cad Bane at 7-star, and you'll be eligible for just about everything. Cad and his ships is basically the only thing in that store. Ships are important too, so how to be efficient with that. I'm going to get into that and what I'm using right now too. This could go multiple directions, but like one of the first ships they give you is Resistance Pilot. Didn't open it. He's not useful. All right. I didn't want to open Tarkin, but I did open Tarkin because Tarkin has to be at level 78. You open up ship challenges. You need him to be able to get through Zetas. So I did open him up. I originally opened up Home 1 until I found that out. So now I've got both of them open right now, which put me in a credit crunch, but that's okay. That's why I'm doing all the dirty work so you guys can be more efficient. I'll show you right here what's working for me. I've got Jedi Consular, Geonosian Soldier, Clone Sergeant, and TIE Silencer. TIE Silencer is the only one I was iffy about because I didn't know if I wanted to use Kylo Ren, because later on I figured out I really don't need tanks. I got healers. I don't need tanks. But he is a great ship, so eventually I will need to open up a little bit further. All right, so you'll see right here, I'm going to kind of put it on double speed here. Way it comes out, I bring Clone Sergeant in second because my guys last just long enough to bring him out, and then he tanks, and then I finish him off, which is nice. And if the battle lasts a long time, Tarkin Special comes in, wipes him out. So pretty basic, pretty easy for a starting team. There is no real synergy, but at this point, you're not going to get any synergy. One of my early goals is to get the GOs because the GOs are a monster with the Home 1 in particular, and they do well with Tarkin as well. So anyway, I end up winning that one. So my current state in the game, right now I'm sitting at level 60. The sim ticket crunch is declining. I'm 11 of 50 in the Galactic Wars. So I got a long way to go there, but I really don't care. Cad Bane, I'm at 40 of 100 right now. I would be at 50, but I put 10 on Zeb on accident. The guild I'm in, I'm in like if I were to rate it 4 out of 10, it's pretty low. But I purposely wanted to do this as hard as possible so I can show like the bare minimum. So if you get in a really good guild where they're carrying you, you'll go a lot farther. I have all the light side and dark side that are possible right now, and all the cantina that are possible right now. I just ran out of credits for the first time, which really sucks, but hopefully a credit heist is coming around. I'm aiming at getting 5 out of 5 5-star toons to open up 5 mods early. I'm almost there. I'm using my allies for that, obviously. Just a random thing. I got 400 random shards from spins on ally points and on Galactic War. And then I've got 7 light side and 12 dark side characters above level 1. Mainly because I changed direction as I was learning that one way was better than the other. So you see right here, I've got Cad Bane, and he's the monster of this group. I just opened, Tarkin, you get him, I think, at level 42 in his ship. Boosted him up. Boba Fett, I'm working on getting up to level 5. Jedi Consular, he's actually usable endgame because of his ship mainly, so I went ahead and leveled him, and he's an early healer, and he was free. He's the only one that I opened. So you get Sergeant, Ewok Scout, Clone Wars Chewbacca, Jedi Consular, Talia, and 3 of them 5 are absolutely useless. Talia is decent endgame with the Night Sisters. IG-88 I added as a bounty hunter, which later on down the road he'll go over with the droids. Ahsoka Tano later will go with the Galactic Republic. Obi-Wan Kenobi with CLS. Geonosian Shoulder obviously with Alpha. Daka with the Night Sisters, and Dengar. Then I've got all these guys down here too. Vader you get with achievements. I opened him up around level 51. Clone Sergeant later with the clones and Shak T. So you can see every one of these guys is basically usable, including Elder, because Elder through the Ewok events. So while I'm not leveling him up any further than he is right now, I did bring him up in order to help me level. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have. I'll use him later, but that's okay. He's basically extra energy, which when I show you that spreadsheet, you'll see there's plenty of places to put that extra energy. Unfortunately, you got to spend crystals in order to get more sim tickets to make your life easier. The other regret I have is open up Count Dooku. I really thought he'd be a good dark side one because I didn't have any earlier, and he was easiest to get, but really he wasn't, because once I started using my allies to open up other nodes, I had access to other ones pretty quickly. So here's some key tips, guys. Level 18, you're going to add allies fast because that's when they open up. Add allies, add allies. I'm going to put out a beginner video on where you can find those allies. Just because you're not a beginner doesn't mean you can't get good information out of that. Level 22, you need to find a decent guild fast. Once you get to level 65, a lot of better guilds will start to accept you. So start looking again at 65. Level 28, arena opens up. Make sure you're doing it every day. Get at least your 2 fights in to get your shards, your crystals. Level 40, galactic war grind starts. Level 50, mod your best 5 for arena only. Don't mod any else because you're only going to have 1 and 2 dot mods, which later on are useless. Get your mods open up to higher ones as soon as you can so you can build them up. You'll see I'm level 60 right now, and Cad Bane's got 2, 3, and 4 on him, so I want him as best as possible. Oh, so another thing I did too is I ended up selling all of my excess mods that I don't need after I put them on my characters for arena. And from level 10 or 50 to level 60, I ended up selling 293,000 in credits worth of useless mods. Okay, level 60, you're going to get access to ships. So what ships to work on? This is a tough one. So like I said, Tarkin is best early on because you get him early, you can level him up, etc. Level 78, you need him for Zeta challenges. Mace, he's a terrible toon personally, and he's kind of needed for gas unless you can get your hands on Negotiator. If you can get your hands on Negotiator, that's the way to go. Akbar is amazing with the Millennium Falcon, and the Geos work well with him too. Like I said, I have great success with that. Thrawn, well, if you don't have Phoenix, you can't get Thrawn. But to me, he was a great plug-and-play player, but he's kind of dropped off. So to me, it's not really a loss, and you've got so many ships out there, and with Holdo coming out today. And then when you're looking at level 62, you get access to ship challenges. You really start to get your ship credits, your everything that you need to get ships, your gear, your mods, etc. Level 65, you get access to guild events. While I'm not there yet, you do get access to territory battle, which you can use all your GP in there. TW, you can only use 6k toons, so obviously you need to get somebody geared up. My Cad Bane is already ready to go. Obviously you're better off having 5 so you can put up a defense or an offense and not hurt your guild. Then you have to do something in order to score. You can't just sit still and not score in that event. So that's the basics of the rundown, guys. Sorry I'm not looking at the camera. I'm basically reading off on my sheet to make sure I don't miss nothing. Okay, so real quick, I just want to give you guys a rundown. These are basically the squads that I'm using right now. Obviously they're hodgepodge and mix and match. But keep an eye out for that other video where I talk about the spreadsheet and how to level at what point to get there. While it's not a perfect science, it'll be a lot more fun and a lot more efficient than level in Phoenix. Ooh, never again. Okay guys, well I hope this helped. And like I said, keep an eye out for the videos I got coming out. Try to be as informational as possible and help you guys out. And yes, free to play can be successful. I'm free to play on my main at 3.6 million, 55-1 in Grand Arena. 125 million guild. We're killing it. Love it. Have a lot of fun. So appreciate you guys. Don't forget. And you're awesome. Have a good day.
Shut up and sit down.